TOADIE'S adventure. A salubrious syncopation of singular silliness. The toady hopped along the road. His warts were all a blister. The sun was shining on his back, and no matter how he twisted, he could not find his way across to meet his toady sister. She'd invited him to come to tea over in the meadow, to play some games and reminisce and frolic in the shadows. He'd thought to take a short cut, but now he wished he hadn't. I'll roast and toast me in this place, get eaten by some rodent. But as he thought he'd surely die upon that hot macadam, he spied a crack in the smooth rock wall and squeezed his way to freedom. Alas, although the shadows cool brought surcease from his blisters, the flight had brought him to a point quite opposite his sister's. Drat the day I got that note to party with my sister. All I'll show for effort spent are inconvenient blisters. He turned toward home, then spied a well that promised soothing water. He hopped atop a low-slung wall and laughed with toady laughter. He heard a step and jumped within to minimize intrusion, when suddenly a golden ball gave Toady a contusion. A battered, blistered, furious toad now hopped onto the curbing, and looked around to find the source of that missile so disturbing. A pretty lass in petticoats was standing there beside him. She gave a squeal and clapped her hands as suddenly she spied him. "How dare you bop me on my head?" the furious toad demanded. "At last I've found you," cried the lass, "a frog prince, empty-handed." "Frog prince my eye," the toad declared, "a toad of grace and breeding, and quite the worse for meeting you and taking such a beating." He glared at her. She stared at him. Then suddenly she grabbed him, planted a kiss upon his lips, and watched to see it happen. Toady hopped down to the ground and took off for the fence. "Wait," she cried. "Listen to me. I've changed you to a prince." Toady stopped and looked around. "Just what are you implying?" "I'll hear some more, but make it quick. I feel like I've been frying." "You see," she said, "I come each day to play here by the well side, waiting for my prince to come, and though you're on the small side, I think you must be in disguise, enchanted by a witch. All it takes is a maiden's kiss to help you make the switch." "Well, well, well," the toady said, "that would be quite a life. How long does it take to break the spell? And would you be my wife?" The maiden tossed her golden curls and turned to walk away. "It only takes a kiss to work. I guess it's not your day." Poor Toady hopped along the road. His warts were still a blister. He had a knot upon his head, and was not inclined to listen to any one who cared to talk about the day's adventure. "Just leave me sitting on my rock, declining invitations." But, hopping into Toady's life, there came a beauteous vision. A lovely lady toad was set upon an expedition. "Where are you going?" Toady called, intent on conversation. "Across the way to see my kin," was her lilting explanation. "Travel can be full of trials. Perhaps you'd like collusion." So Toady, in the thrall of love, forgot blisters and contusions. The moral of this toady tale is plain to all who read it. There's more to life than princely gain. For what we are's sufficient.